BS Show Season 4, Episode 19, Sean Gankars with Justin Chasmore, Adam Tynan as always, but it's Super Bowl week, boys, so we have to bring on extras for this show. We are also joined by Mike Fouche, Joe Federa, and as always, probably name dropped on every single episode, Nick Guerra is here with us for Super Bowl Sunday.
Fortunately,
He's finally got his shot to give his take on the football season. Like I said, we're talking about a guy that whenever Bronco games get balled up, his name is balled up, but he's finally here. Another season, pretty much in the books, boys. One more game left. It's the big one. Adam, we'll go to you first. How are we feeling about this Super Bowl?
yeah, I mean, we're just excited to have everybody here, ready to go. We get to chirp a lot more people than just Gank, with a little bit of Chazzy, so I'm excited for that. Garrett looks angry already, so that's good stuff. And Joe, Fouche, happy to have you guys.
Yeah,
Happy
I think
to be here, boys.
Obviously one more. It's the big one, and hopefully we can end the year with a few locks here to end the record on a high note. But definitely nice to see some new faces here to end the year, and let's get a little 6-0 sweep to end it.
Joe, you've been on the show before. We've had you more than once too, I believe. Like I said, biggest Sunday of the year. How's it feel to be back for this one?
It's good. It's been a while. I'm very stoked to be back. Hopefully get to see this full game. There's a few things going on outside of it. Hopefully we'll be watching this full game, getting all my bets and hitting.
Yes, Joe, the expecting father incoming. Let's hope all the best here. And let's hope he's clear on Sunday too, like you said, to watch the game. Who's your first time on the show? I'm expecting you to give us the most ridiculous prop bets this episode. Is that accurate?
Yeah, pretty accurate. I'm going through the list now. You'll see what happens.
We like that. And Gara, like I said, a lot of talk. Your name's been brought up on a lot of shows. Your first time on. Anything you'd like to say about past recordings and the upcoming game?
No, just happy to be here. I know my name gets dropped a lot, and that's because I get it. I get it. Everyone, we all like to chirp. But I'm ready to dive into this game and go through all these props and see what we can find.
That's it. Well, go through the props. We'll go through a lot of the props first before we actually pick our winners and against the spread in this game, because it's a Super Bowl. There's a lot to cover, but first things first, we're going to ring down 3 props that are probably the most talked about. This could be real quick. Everybody just give me your call. And we're going to start with the basics. Start with the way the game starts. That's the national anthem. What is the over under? Minute 38, I believe we said pre-show.
Minute 35, something like that.
35, yeah.
Minute 35. All right, minute 35. Like I said, we'll go quick on these ones to start. They're popular prop bets, these 3. Give people the idea of what we're thinking. I'll be quick. Like I said, girl singing it. I'm going to go over. She got booted on American Idol, and I think she's out there to prove something and show the world what she's got on a stage like this.
Yeah, Gank, I mean, I like that logic there. I'm not going to go into detailed response here because there's nothing for me to say. But I just like to take the over in the bets. So makes sense to me.
Yeah, there's no way you could start the Super Bowl with taking an under. So take the over, have the stopwatch out, and just hope she holds that note.
Yeah, I say, I'm going to say over. She, like Sean said, she's got something to prove. She's going to show her pipes, and like I said on the pre-show, I can't see anything unless Busta Rhymes is up there. I can't see anything national anthem lasting only minute 35. So I'm going to go over on that.
It's always the over. You don't bet unders. Ever.
And I'm gonna go over as well. Yeah, unless it's Busta Rhymes or Eminem, someone rapping the national anthem. No way. This is gonna be under that.
Well, big halftime performance. We do get to see Eminem this Super Bowl. I know there's some people in this podcast right now very excited about that. Be big stuff. All right. One word answer on the second one. Coin toss, heads or tails. I'm a tails never fails guy. Adam.
1,000,000% tails never fails.
I'm
Trash.
different. I'm a heads man.
Roosh,
Tails.
Joe,
Heads.
Gara.
Tails.
Oh wow, Chaz and Joe. Load
In the
some
blood.
in the heads. If I remember correctly, somebody actually put a tweet on it on Twitter the other day. I do believe Tails has the lead. It's like 29 and 26 all time in Super Bowls. So
Yeah.
number
Gotta-
7
gotta know-
ride with
gotta-
Tails.
Got to know your coin.
Gotta
Yeah.
know your coin.
It's really that
And
simple.
I want to do Super Bowl MVP. That is something we can talk about as we get into the game. But one more that is after the game. That's also the popular bet, and that's the Gatorade color. Me, I'm very classic. My favorite color is blue. I never go away from blue. Fish,
Orange. That's my guess.
Chaz,
I'm gonna say blue too, just because it's favorite color.
Adam,
Oh, orange, no doubt.
orange, no doubt. Blue and orange popular. Gara,
I like. I kind of like blue actually on this.
all right. Bronco guy thought he was gonna go with his orange. Joe, they're blue
I'm
also.
gonna go. I'm gonna go with a bit of a wild card. I'm gonna say red.
Oh,
Oh,
All right. All right.
Joe's gonna be a
that.
millionaire after this.
Yeah. I don't even see odds for red on fucking FanDuel. So he's really good. I mean, can you just imagine if like McVay's wearing a white shirt, which he probably is if the team's wearing white, and he just gets doused in red Gatorade. That's forever shirt.
Fantastic.
New Andy Reid. All right. Let's get into game and some actual prop bets that involve numbers and everything. We go through positions here. We'll start with quarterbacks. A lot of things to bet. I'm just looking for these guys' total yards right now, but can't even find that. With that said, let's talk about these quarterbacks. Burrow and Matt Stafford. A lot of talks about this game. I mean, we look at the past Super Bowls. We know the statistics. All the past Super Bowls either consisted of a Brady, of Manning, of a Mahomes,
a
a
Flacco.
Roethlisberger. The one time Flacco got in, he's actually one of the odd mans out. He's one that got to mix it up for us, thankfully. But
Hell yeah.
we're mixed up this time, and I'm very intrigued by this quarterback matchup. I mean, you got Matt Stafford, who obviously a career in Detroit never gave him all he needed to get to this level. The second he leaves, he makes it to the Super Bowl instantly. Kind of says everything you need to know about him. And then Joe Cool and Joe Burrow, who we all saw in LSU not that long ago, win the national championship. Coming to the league, tears his ACL his rookie year, comes back year 2, and is already in the Super Bowl. And it's just an unbelievable story from him. But 2 fun quarterbacks, I think, to watch. A game that I think is going to come down to this quarterback play. And when we compare the two right now, what are we looking? Adam, I'll go to you first. I know we got to leave soon. We're going to get a pick from you soon, too. But what are we looking from these 2 quarterbacks, and who's going to have the better game?
Yeah, I mean, Matt Stafford has made some mistakes, here and there throughout the season. He seems to have played well these playoffs, but I got a nice little a bet that I like for them. Not one of my locks, but I did see Joe Burrow a 4th quarter touchdown. Dude's just big time. I feel like he's going to make that happen, whether the Bengals find a way to win or not. The dude clearly just plays big in big moments, and I'm sure the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl will be no different. So I mean, Joey being the 4th quarter will be a lock.
Yeah, I think when Burrow was coming out of college, everyone said the bigger the spotlight, the bigger he plays. And I will say he played pretty well in that AFC Championship game, but the first 2 games he didn't really do that much. I mean, the Bengals kind of skated by, found a way to win, which is what you have to do in the playoffs. But I think Super Bowl, I mean, you saw the pictures of him rolling into the AFC Championship. Doesn't seem like anything really gets to him. And obviously we'll get into the game deeper later. But I think just the fact that Burrow's been in really big games before, Stafford's going to have a lot of pressure on him on the other side. So I'm looking for Burrow to step up once again.
All right. Gary, you haven't seen good quarterback play since Peyton Manning retired out there in Denver.
Can we say
Well,
though
we
the
got-
last year wasn't really good on Peyton's behalf?
Yeah, and that was a defense carried Super Bowl. Yeah, that year wasn't that good either. But no, now we got a Super Bowl where I finally found these passing yards, and Burrow over 276.5, Matt Stafford over 281.5. Pretty high, respectable numbers for these two quarterbacks here, Garrett. Do you like either one to have more passing yards than the other, and either want to go over these numbers here?
I actually love Matt Stafford. I'm against everybody that's talked about Burrow so far. I love Matt Stafford's passing yards. I think Burrow is going to be under duress the whole game from that defensive line with how suspect Cincinnati's offensive line is. I don't see them holding up. I just think that Matt Stafford's going to outduel Burrow in the passing yard aspect.
It's Matt Stafford guy. I'm actually with Garrett on this one, but I've done nothing but eat my words against Joe Burrow because, like I said, once he was drafted number one, I just thought he was on a stacked college team that was any of us almost
Good take, Gank.
almost could have won a championship with it. Like I said, that is one of the biggest misses in my life when it comes to calling things. But I mean, I think it's to be a throw happy game. I think it's to be fun to watch, but I'm kind of with Gary here. I love Stafford. I actually like him to go over that number. Since his defense kind of had some question marks throughout the season, we've seen some big games, gang somewhere you can throw the ball. And you put Kupp and Beckham out there who just having great seasons with the Rams. Odell, really night and day different player from Cleveland to now. And I think Stafford's going to go over that number. But yeah, Adam, that was not my best take about Joe Burrow back in the day. If somebody wanted to take some time and scroll, you could probably find some text that would really make me sound like an idiot when it comes to Joe Burrow.
We can find plenty of those, gang. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm sure you can. All right, Adam, I know you have to go soon, so I'm going to give you this time right now to give me your thoughts on the game, the spread, the over under, and whether it's a prop or something, whatever lock you want to throw in there before you have to go.
Gang, appreciate it. Yeah, so I mean, I think I've seen this. Most of these playoffs have come down to field goals, if not last-minute touchdowns, and I think the Super Bowl is the exact same way. I think the Rams are going to win on a game-winning field goal. I do like the over. I think Joey B plays a good game. Matt Stafford plays well. Rams defense does come to play, as Garrett says, but there's a fourth quarter comeback in the Bengals, just not quite enough to do it for him. As for a lock, I am going to go, like I said, pre-show, tails never fails on the coin toss, 50-50. So I like those odds. I'm going to go 27-24 Rams on the last minute field goal, but the Bengals do end up covering with that +4 spread.
Tails never fails. I love it for
Hey man,
Well,
why
the
not,
most-
bro? It's a Super Bowl.
why not at this point? Yeah, you got nothing
Yeah.
to lose. I mean, it's always next year for you when it comes to fixing a record anyway. It's too late this year, but
I'm not saved, but yeah. All right, boys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bounce.
it's
Quick
checking
show for
out.
me, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, quick for you, but hey, we
Hope
appreciate
the
your
new
intake.
guys are enjoying the show. Peace.
Super Bowl.
Later, bud.
Uh,
All right. I gotta do something here. Let's get what we do. Quarterback. Frusha Joe, didn't get much to you on the quarterbacks. Joe, I'll ask you first. Like I said, I mean, we got two quarterbacks that I think there's a lot you can compare similarities when they come to a game like this. Which one do you like more in this game?
I'm kind of leaning a little towards Stafford. Reason being, Joe Burrow has to go against that Rams defense. That's going to be a problem, even though I still think he's going to get a lot of passes off, not because of Jamar Chase, but I believe he's going to get a lot to Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. But when you look at the Rams receivers and who Stafford's thrown to, I mean, Cooper Kupp, he's automatic. OBJ, you know, he's not going to disappoint in his first Super Bowl. He's been waiting for this moment since he got traded from the Giants. Take advantage of this. So yeah, I expect both these guys to have big numbers by the end of that game.
Frush, I know you said you have some props lined up. Any involving the quarterbacks or not this one?
Not really. I mean, I like both quarterbacks throwing over 300 yards in this game. I know the Bengals they're gonna be throwing a lot. I think they're gonna be down early. So that's how I feel about this. Yeah, I think touchdowns are flying this game though.
Kind of like that. Is there a number on ball thrown over 300 that you've seen by chance?
I haven't found that prop yet on this. I've been looking. When I
So
find it,
that actually feels like a fun prop that I don't hate either. I'd be invested in that. All right. Just talked about quarterbacks. Fuchs kind of said it. I think receivers are going to be fun. We will get to receivers. I'm going to go to running backs first. Like I said, this game, it's a lot of talk about the two quarterbacks playing. That's all going to be connected to the receivers. But then you look at the running backs here, and well, you got a guy in Joe Mixon who fantasy owners have been backing him for years, kind of finally got the year they wanted out of him this year. And then you look at the Rams, who is it going to be? It's going to be Cam Akers. It's going to be Sony Michel. Who knows? There are rushing yards listed everywhere for everyone. The highest rushing total is Cam Akers, over 65.5 yards. Like I said, on Rams team, you don't know where they get. I want to discuss his number first really quick. Chaz, I'll go to you first. Is Cam Akers going over that number?
I'm going to say no. I think that's going to be a popular number everyone bets because majority of people are probably going to think the Rams are going to win. And so when you have a lead, you run the ball. But Sony Michel was on the field a lot last week. And I even heard Darrell Henderson might be mixed in during the Super Bowl too. So
Coming back?
I think there's a lot of mouths to feed on that backfield. It's not kind of the Cam Akers show that was the game against the Cardinals. And I think he kind of screwed it up against the Bucks. I mean, Cam Akers single-handedly almost gave that game to Tampa Bay. So the Sony Michel factor, I think, is going to limit that. So I would say under.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that under too, and same reason. It's backfield by committee there. I almost feel like, Sony Michel to get his. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know Darrell Henderson was playing in this one. Has he even played recently? I thought he's been down for the count for the season, honestly. But him coming back too, that really actually makes me like that under number a little more. Something I'm actually checking off. It's a number that I may actually have to hit come Super Bowl Sunday. Fuchs, it's a running back guy that loves Cleveland running backs due to your fantasy team this year. Your thoughts on Cam Akers?
I actually think he's going to go over his yard total. Just, I feel like they're going to run it or try to run it a little bit to start the game, but if it gets slowed down, then they'll pass, obviously. Yeah, over.
Who's going over? Joe, you agree?
I'm gonna go under. He's probably gonna get some good yardage in the beginning. I figure probably Sony Michel's gonna start getting his later on in the game, but I figure it's gonna start getting pass heavy, probably second, third quarter, and especially if they're gonna be, it's a tight game, they're gonna still be looking to pass at the end. So I'm gonna go under.
All right, and Gary, you're a Cam Akers guy.
No, I'm gonna go. So normally I would hit this over, but when I do, I can see like Sony Michel getting the start and like just something weird happening. And now you're saying Darrell Henderson's going to be back. So I'm going to go under. I just won't touch this at all probably, but if I had to pick under.
Yeah, leaning under. Gary will stick with you. We're going to go with the other running back now, Joe Mixon. And as we said, starting with running backs, Mixon gave the fantasy owners a year they've been waiting for from him. My opinion, the best season he's had as a pro. He comes in this game with an over under 63.5. Jackson defense, and now includes your boy Von Miller. Is he going over that number?
I don't think so. I think he's going under as well, just for the reasons of that line. I think he's going to get stopped. I think he's going to get a lot of receiving yards, a lot of, screens, stuff like that. But rushing wise, I just don't see it being open at all. I just see the line being plugged. So I would go under.
Joe?
I think he's going to go slightly over. I think it's going to be a mix of him getting, the screens, but I think early on he's going to be hitting, getting a lot of the rushing yards. And yeah, if they start bottling up Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow's going to need someone to toss the ball off to. So I think he's going to go slightly over here.
Roosh.
I'm taking the under. That defensive line's too good. I think they're gonna stuff them.
Yeah, I'm with Roosh on that one too. Something about that defensive line against this offensive line doesn't seem to mix well for Cincy. I do think Joe Mixon's, I mean, the way he's playing this year, he's obviously going to be involved. He's going to get his, and I'm not even surprised if he scores a touchdown this one, but 63.5 against that line, I don't see it. We'll obviously get into the game later. I have a feeling Cincy is going to be in this game pretty much the whole time. So we're spending a lot of this game playing from behind, which is going to involve more throwing. So I'm also under that number. Jazz, you're last here.
I'm kind of with Joe. I think he goes barely over it, but I would feel much more comfortable taking his total yards, receiving and rushing. He's only hit that number once this playoff, and it was last week. But I think if you're Cincy with Matthew Stafford and that offense on the other side of the field, I think you have to be able to try to run the ball to try to keep him off the field, kind of like what they tried to do last week against Kansas City. So he hit the number last week, obviously in a different way since they came back, but I'm going to say slightly over, but I will not be touching that like I did last week.
All right, Fierce, I got one question for you as somebody who's loved Josh Allen's quarterback prop and rushing yards and treated you well more times than not. Joe Burrow is over 12.5 on the ground. Matt Stafford is over 5.5 on the ground. Any of these quarterbacks going over their rushing numbers?
I like both of them going over. Joe Burrow's going to be running around for his life, I think, in the backfield. So he's going to get some rushing yards. I think he hits. And the Bengals have allowed like the quarterback rushing prop to hit like the last like 5 games or something. So Matt Stafford, 6 rushing yards. Might as well go for it.
It's good.
6 yards. He gets 6 yards.
It's one scramble. If he gets it, then yeah.
You got to worry about the QB kneels though if they win.
All right. Well, let's get him 10, and then he can kneel at the end.
He's to be sitting on 7.
Oh yeah.
He can
Remember
what?
Was it the Super Bowl 2 years ago where that happened? Mahomes lost 17 rushing yards on 3 kneel downs to miss his rushing over on the last 3 plays of the game.
Well, but he wasn't kneeling it like normal though. He was
No,
like running
he
back
was
5 yards.
He was trying to burn
but
a couple
still.
seconds and kneel.
Yeah.
But,
I can tell
that
you
was-
what, Matt Stafford ain't kneeling like that at the end.
yeah, Matt Stafford's only making it 34 yards back before he's probably getting crushed doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Burrow had to easily go over 12.5 rushing against the Chiefs in the conference championship game, didn't he?
He had 25.
Yeah, I mean, and
I just think he's gonna be scrambling in the backfield.
I
Like,
actually,
he's gonna get
I'm
some.
actually starting to love that Burrow number. It's kind of similar story where he's going to know he's going to have to make. He even said it in his interview after that Chiefs game where he knew he had to make a couple plays on his feet to keep him in it. And I mean, against this defense, I almost think it's the same story. He's going to have to do the same thing, and I kind of love that number. All right, let's get to the receiving props. Do you guys have these numbers, players receiving yards in front of your face? Because there is
I do.
a lot of receivers in this game. A lot of over-unders you can pick from. I mean, when you have a Cooper Kupp out there and Odell Beckham out there, or Jamar Chase out there, or T. Higgins out there, or Tyler Boyd, there's a lot of options you could go from receivers. So if you have these numbers in front of your face, whether it's an over or under, Joe, I'll ask you first this time. Is there one that sticks out the most? That's your favorite bet.
It's almost to a point where whatever they're giving Cooper Kupp, I'm just going to take it because this man, I mean, the last several weeks of the playoffs, this man has won every bet I've had with him. So he just, if you watch it, it's just as soon as Stafford sees him open, he gets the ball. So it's, to me, whatever number he has, I'm taking it. It's just
his number is 104.5, and I could be wrong, but I actually think that's the lowest it's been in the past month or so.
Yeah, that's, to me, that's still very low for him.
Yeah. Gara, I know you're big on Cooper Kupp numbers. If I'm not mistaken, last time I think we involved him in the same game parlay with his over. We were all together. I think you had it at 118.5, and I'm pretty sure he had 118 through 3 quarters, and the Rams just kind of blew them out and didn't have another catch. But What's your favorite receiver number for this one?
Um, I love Joe Mixon over 24.5, just for the reasons we said before. I just think he's going to get a lot of action, middle of the field screens. I think the Rams secondary is going to really limit the receivers, and then he's going to be the dump off. So I really actually like his receiving yards over 24.5.
Fish.
I like Van Jefferson over 33.5. Everyone's talking about Cup and Odell. I think Van Jefferson's gonna get it one big pass, snag it, get that over.
It's that Manningham style. Belichick said throw it to him.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I think. They're gonna try to cover everyone.
for
else.
that
He's
one,
gonna be the guy
34
open.
yards, 35 yards. That's all
Yep.
you need. Yeah.
But we always say
Well,
this: Cooper Cup's wide open
I'm gonna
every
ride-
time, so it don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it really doesn't. And not for nothing. They do these things where they throw the straight lateral screen to Cooper Cup and somehow get all 7 guys in front of him and he runs for fucking 15 yards upfield. Like, they literally execute that 2 or 3 times a game. He catches a couple more passes and he's over. But I'm gonna ride my guy Odell on this one. Joe, you said about Cooper Cup, how he's been winning you a lot of money. Obviously fair, been having a good year, but I mean, me betting Odell ever since he's been to the Rams, I'm kind of in a similar boat. He's won me a lot of money too. Whether I wanted to bet him as an anytime touchdown scorer, for him to go over his yards, I felt like it's been hitting at a pretty good percentage whenever I involved a bet with him, and I'm sticking with him here over 61.5. Said it before, I'm still not the biggest fan of this Bengals defense. I think this Rams offense could have a little fun. Cooper Cup, Fush, you said it. He's always open. I imagine he's to get some of the attention, and I think Odell's to get his. I think he's due for one catch that's going to be at least 30 to 40 yards, and he'll get 3 or 4 more in between that. I'll get him over that 61.5 number easily, I think. Chaz?
Yeah, I'm with you, gang. I'm going to go Odell. And I think he's been waiting for this moment for a long time. And in the NFC Championship game, I'm pretty sure he went over 100. He's been very, very good for them in the playoffs and ever since he got there. But really in the playoffs, he's taking it to another level. And I think, with all eyes on him in the Super Bowl, 61 yards, yeah, I'll take that.
All right. I'm going to go to defense here. And of course, I'm going to go to Nick Garrett because this is just a question for him. Your boy Von Miller to record a sack. Yes is minus 168, Garrett. We know the Bengals offensive line has been suspect. Minus 168. Pretty big number when it comes to recording a sack. Are you going to lay that for Von Miller?
I actually wrote that down on my little pad here as one of the bets that I really liked. I would lay the money.
There it is.
I would lay the money. He shows up big time games every time, and I just don't see the tackle being able to contain him and having to worry about Aaron Donald at the same time. I think he gets a sack.
That number just feels so big, minus 168.
It is.
But
It is very big. Yeah, very big.
Like I said, the Bengals got sacked 9 times against the Titans and found a way to win the game, which I still think is impressive. So he's bound to get one. And then Fush, Joe, fellow Giant fans like myself, how much money, if any, are you willing to risk on Eli Apple to record an interception at plus 640? That piece of shit he was with the Giants.
$0. His hands are like rocks. He can't catch anything. So
Yeah.
0.
just out of
No money on
principle.
him.
Just out of principle, I will not be betting on him.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure us Giant fans are still in the same boat here. We're just hoping Odell cooks him all day long, right?
Yeah. We like Odell.
Oh, I love Odell. Yeah, he's my guy. But all right, it is Super Bowl. Obviously, a lot of props. I don't know how much you guys look through. Fush, I know you said you had a few props you were looking at, you want to talk about. Any of those props, whichever one sticks out the most, or if you got a few to talk about, which ones are you feeling?
I'm feeling a kicking prop. Evan McPherson over 7.5 points. kicking points. And then let me
That's
find
the
the other
number
one.
I like.
And then I have it was each team to score 2+ touchdowns and 2+ field goals at plus 390.
Ooh. I feel very confident about the Bengals actually getting 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. And the Rams are going to score 2 touchdowns. I'm sure they're going to kick at least one.
Yeah, you
I
just
think
gotta
it's the-
hope. That's what I was
I
thinking.
think
The
it's
same
the
exact thing.
Rams with that second field goal. That's the biggest question mark. But when you get a number like that, it's definitely worth a shot. I mean, the Bengals red zone offense has also been suspect, but they made it this far. Sure, they'll get their touchdowns, but McPherson don't miss. We've seen that in the playoffs. I actually think that's good value, worth taking. And to be honest, I really think it's going to come down to whether the Rams kick a second field goal or not. Garrett, you have any props you got your eyes on?
I have one that I really like, and then a long shot one. I like Cooper Kupp and Chase for over 200 yards at plus 100. I think that Kupp's going to eat. He's going to have like 130, 140, and the Bengals are going to have to get Chase the ball to win this game or even stay in it. I like that as a potential lock. And as a long shot, I kind of like at plus 4,500, Kupp to score the first touchdown and Chase to score the second touchdown.
Oh, wow.
I think it's worth a
Uh,
sprinkle for plus 4,500. I can definitely just see that happening.
Wait, all right on who's getting the ball first.
It
Definitely
could.
don't hate
It
that,
definitely
though.
could. It's a long shot, but I like it.
It is. Yeah, I see that out there. That's probably worth it. Joe, do you have any props you got your eyes on?
I really like the longest touchdown scored over 42.5. I just feel like it's going to just take one bomb to either Beckham or Jamar Chase, even though I figure Jalen Ramsey is going to be covering Chase probably majority of that game. It's only going to take one bomb to them, and that's hitting. So I like that. Shortest touchdown scored under 1.5 at minus 138. Yeah, yes and no. I feel like the lock is definitely longest touchdown score though.
Chaz?
Yeah, I got 2. Anytime tutty for Cam Akers, minus 110. I know we talked about rushing yards, but I think when they get down in the red zone, I think he's going to get one in. And number 2, which I might revisit later. I know you and Foosh are on the other side of me, but I love Joe Burrow under 11.5 rushing yards. He's only went over that number 3 times this entire season. That's including last week. And when you look at the Rams, they're going to be able to contain the outside, and they have good guys up the middle to not allow him to run. When you look at last week, the Chiefs, that defensive line is horrific other than Chris Jones, which is why he was able to kind of get outside and run a little bit. So he averaged 3 yards a game rushing this entire season. So give me under 12.5 all day.
That's fair. But Chaz, was it you? Or maybe it was you, Foosh. Maybe it was a tweet I read. Honestly, I have no fucking idea. But somewhere, someone or something told me that quarterback rushing yards go over and hit 75% more times in like the playoffs than the regular season.
Oh, I saw that tweet. It was either a tweet or like on Instagram or something.
You saw that though,
I
right?
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that's
really, they're
insane. That's
just
wild.
trying to do a little more with their feet. As for me, Chaz, you kind of gave a player prop I'm looking at. I'm going right back to my boy Odell. I'm going to take him as an anytime touchdown scorer at plus 140. I mean, more than half those games with the Rams, he's found himself in the end zones. Been saying all show. I still don't trust the Bengals defense. I think the Rams are that score some points in this game. I do think there are going to be a lot of points in this game, although I think the over-under is actually pretty close. It's going to be a fun game to watch, but I do think Odell finds himself in there to get his. And as a small little shot, I'm going to take the first drive result, no matter who gets the ball. And Foosh, this is going to help part of your bet. I'm going to take a field goal attempt at plus 440 on the first drive in this one. Like I said, I'm I am expecting points in this one. You got two teams coming to the Super Bowl here. I mean, you got a young quarterback in Joe Burrow. You got Matt Stafford, who's a first-time guy here. I do trust these offenses more than both these defenses here. I do expect ball movement. But I don't know if anybody's ready to march right downfield and score a touchdown on the first drive, whether I do feel like field goal range is a good possibility. So plus 440 on a field goal attempt first drive feels like a decent number and a good shot bet for that. But let's get into the game now. The spread right now, as it stands, is Rams 4-point favorites. The over-under is 48.5. Sure, we might see some slight changes between when we record this now and kickoff, but I do think these numbers are going to be pretty close. I can't imagine the line gets below the Rams -3. Can't see the line going past the Rams -4.5, and I can't imagine this over-under getting under 48 and going over 49. So I'm pretty sure Vegas is going to keep this number right here as is. We'll get all our takes on the game, what we think it's going to happen. At the end of your take, I want you guys to give me who you think your Super Bowl MVP is going to be too. That was something I was asked early in the show, but I figured at the end of the game take, once you describe how you think this game's going to go, we'll give it then. We'll start with our guests first, whether it's Frush, Joe, or Garrett. Anybody want to volunteer or step up and go first? If not, I'm going to pick Garrett, so.
No, yeah, it's fine. I'll go. Like I said before, I think, like I said, the Rams D line is going to get to Burrow. I just don't see the Bengals. I see it being a close game, but I just think ultimately it's going to come down to that line, that blocking, and I do see points being scored in this game. I like the Rams actually covering the 4, and I like the game to go over. I would predict final score of 30-24 Rams. And I would say my MVP based on that is probably going to be, it'd probably be Kupp.
Oh, wow. Worth a little bit.
Yeah. I could have said Stafford, but I think Kupp's going to have a game.
I mean, if you got a guy that's MVP that isn't the quarterback, I feel like it's always worth a little sprinkle as you're getting some number on that. All right, Joe, how are you feeling here?
All righty. I'm going to say the Bengals cover, but the Rams win the game. I feel like it's going to be very close. Typically, the Super Bowls, I think, with the exception last year with Tampa Bay taking that lead, typically these games are usually very close. So I think it's going to be a nail biter through the end. I think the Bengals are going to get that. Joe Burrow is going to have that ball on the final drive, and I think the Rams defense, they paid those playmakers all that money. I think that they're going to make the play at the end the game, whether it's interception or fumble. I think that's how they're going to win it. Typically, the MVPs are usually the quarterback, so I'm going to say Stafford here wins the MVP.
Yeah, score prediction.
I'm going to say 32-29.
Was that the score of the Ravens Super Bowl, Trash?
Yeah, I think so.
I like that. Run it back. 2-9 box pool winning. All right, Foosh.
So I think it's obviously going to be a close game. I actually think the Bengals cover and win the game, and the game goes over. The Bengals are just a hot team. They've been rolling. I think it's just their year. I'm saying 30-27 Bengals.
There it is. Needed somebody to pick Cincy. And I kind of wanted to pick Cincy for that exact reason you said, Foosh. Like, they seem like the hot team. They feel like they're the team of destiny. But the biggest thing for this game for me that I keep going back to is this Rams defense versus that Cincy offensive line. I think that's what's going to cost them. Last year's Super Bowl to watch obviously sucked. All that hype, Mahomes versus Brady, and we got shit. I do think this is going to be a very fun game to watch, exhilarating game to watch, but I just think the Rams are just too talented for this Bengals team. The Bengals still feel like the team of destiny, but Rams kind of almost have that too with Matt Stafford. I mean, like I said earlier in the show, we're talking about a guy that was stuck in a shithole in Detroit his whole career. And the second he leaves, he finds himself in the Super Bowl. So both these guys are just as hungry. Stafford has been in this league a little longer. I think he's got more pieces around him to help get him done. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to pick the Rams to pull it out late. I do have the Bengals covering the +4, and I have it going over the total of 48.5. I'll take the Rams 27-24. Give me my MVP. I'll stick to chalk. I'll take Stafford being MVP also.
All right, I'm gonna ride with Foosh here. I'm gonna take the Bengals, and I've picked against them the entire playoff so far. So, good job by me. But since 2000, this is an interesting stat. Since 2000, underdogs of 4 more points are 10-2-1 against the spread. So even if the Bengals do lose this game, I do think they cover. But I'm gonna ride with the Bengals. They do feel like a team of destiny. I watched their little like send off thing yesterday they had at their stadium, and they're playing with house money. And the Rams have every ounce of pressure on them. They went out and traded for Odell. They got Von Miller. They obviously got Stafford. The Super Bowl is in their home stadium. They don't have to travel. Every ounce of pressure is on them. Then you got Joe Burrow on the other side. Obviously, he's been in big games, plays well in big games. And when you have a team that is going to be playing with nothing to lose, that is very scary. So I'm going to go with the Bengals to get it done. I'll go 30-27. I like the over. I liked it when it opened at 50 and now it's at 48.5. So I'll go Bengals win. I'll go over and MVP. I'm going to take the chalk too, but I'll take Burrow.
Got 2 people going Bengals 30-27. I love it. All right, let's get to a lock now. God, there is so much to choose from a lock. And I don't know what to pick. So I'm going to stick with the one prop that we just talked about. I'm going to take Odell to score at +140. Like I said, I think Stafford's to throw multiple touchdowns this game. And in that case, I like my odds that Odell is they get one of them. I'll ride with him at that. Chaz?
Yeah, I'll stick with the Super Bowl score too. I did it last year and it treated me well. So I'll go Cam Akers anytime. Minus 110.
Garrett?
I'm gonna go with the Chase and Cup over 200 yards combined.
Ooh, wow. What's the number on that again?
Plus 100.
That might have to be a hammer play. Joe?
I'm gonna go Cooper Cup anytime touchdown. It's him and before the Bills got eliminated, Singletary. Those have been my 2 guys this whole playoffs, and I'm gonna keep going with Cooper.
Singletary, he won me some money scoring touchdowns in the playoffs too. And Foosh.
I'm going with Joe Burrow and Matt Stafford combined for 500 plus yards and 4 plus passing touchdowns at
Big
minus
play.
125.
I like that one.
500 plus?
Yeah. And 4 plus passing touchdowns.
I actually like that one too. I mean, very confident they're both going to hit 250 and pretty confident they're both going to throw at least 2 also.
Yeah.
It's a good little find down there. All right, boys. That's it for our Super Bowl. Anybody have final words? Last second props they found that they want to throw out there?
Just hope it's a good game.
It's got to be better than last year.
Yeah, and
Can't
I
be worse.
guarantee we're gonna see some sicko that like bet the correct score and won $500,000, the next
Yeah.
day or something.
Oh, all those.
I'm
tweets
ready
that
for
they
that.
Come out.
I'm ready for those. Or somebody that
Bengals.
parlays. Somebody's gonna parlay like the over with the Gatorade color and some weird stuff going on. I could.
Yeah, parlaying like the Anthem coin toss
That's-
Gatorade.
Yeah, winning like $1 million on the Gatorade.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
the Gatorade.
You bet 3 pennies on
you
it.
know, we'll see a ridiculous tweet. Like, look at a tweet that'll come out mid-game, something ridiculous like that already hit.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Someone's gonna lay like 500 grand on like tails or something.
Wasn't it last year the asshole that bet like the Buccaneers not to score a touchdown or something? He gets it.
Don't know.
You win a lot of money if that actually hits.
Yeah, you do.
I just hope it's a